What's going on, wrestling family? Welcome back to Hear These Thoughts, and I want to talk to you guys about whatever you want to call that happened on Monday Night Raw. Triple H, what was that? What was that, right? A lot of people have a theory as to why this happened, but I think I have an additional theory that maybe some people thought about but haven't really talked about, and we'll get into that as well. So let's just start off with the obvious thing, okay? I tried to understand why and what happened at the end of that episode of Raw, because I try to look at things in an optimistic way. But unfortunately for me, every time I watched that part, I got more confused, I got more bewildered, I got shocked, I got scared, because it was just a whole lot going on there that I do not understand. Now, a lot of people online, they really believe that LA Knight was put through some type of, I don't know, like humiliation ritual, or people believe that he was buried by WWE. And you know what? Whenever I heard the word buried, or hear it online, or I read it, or anything like that, personally, I cringe on the inside, because nowadays people just throw that on everything, bro. It's like red hot. They just throw it on everything they see, right? And it's used out of context. So typically it's like, okay, it's just people being mad, just trying to find a reason to be mad. But when it comes to this situation, if they were to say that when it comes to LA Knight, especially after losing to Gunther and losing a lot of times lately, I honestly can understand why they come from that perspective. Because if you think about it, we literally watched a man on Monday Night Raw get packed up, get mollywopped, get washed for 6 minutes straight. Not even that he just got washed up. Not just that. He got a washed up world tour. He got washed up in the ring. They beat him up backstage. They beat him up in the parking lot on top of a Chevy Aveo. I think that's what that car was. If you walked anywhere in that arena, I promise you can find a drip of LA Knight sweat from when he was getting bopped up. Which is crazy. Like, when's the last time we seen somebody get beat that long? The last time I've seen anything get washed that long is when my grandma tried to hand wash a fur coat. That's the last time. Bro, it was bad. That was, I don't know what the point of that was. I don't know what the goal was. But again, I think I know exactly what happened. And this is not me trying to absolve WWE of any responsibility, because obviously, whether this was on purpose or not, either way, it just doesn't really make any sense, right? So when it comes to the situation, there was some weird things that happened that told me maybe there's an alternative, outside of WWE trying to bury LA Knight. Because if you watch that segment, let's just begin with the match between Logan Paul and LA Knight. We saw the whole situation happen there, and then the hooded masked man shows up, curb stomps LA Knight, and then runs away. By the way, this is the same masked hoodie person that showed up early in the show and got chased around the arena by security. How this person escaped from security, I have no idea. I don't know if they just put donut traps on the ground, or the security got tired and they hid in the bathroom and came back out. I don't know, but they showed up twice in one night. And in my personal opinion, I like the idea of not knowing who this is, but you know what, WWE, time is running out. We got to figure out who this person is. But despite of that person, they attacked LA Knight, rolled him in the ring to obviously help Logan Paul, because this hooded mask person, this evil Squid Games person, is a part of the Vision, or trying to help the Vision out. As far as my theory or who it could be, we'll talk about that in a different video. But then we saw the Vision come out to help Logan Paul win the match. And not only did they just help him win the match, they destroyed LA Knight. LA Knight caught a spear. He caught 2 tsunamis. And this is the part that made me feel like there's something else that happened here than WWE's a plan to wash LA Knight, the plan to bury LA Knight. And at the end of the beating, when the security or the medical staff or whoever picked up LA Knight and took him out to the backstage, right? We had this random promo from Paul Heyman. And you guys know me, I love hearing Paul Heyman talk, bro. He's like, I can sit and listen to him for days, but it was something that felt like that moment was so impromptu. And he's so much of a professional, it's hard to catch it. But this time around, it was just weird, because he went to insulting the fans, which is what Paul Heyman does. And I got hit with a Slim Jim commercial in the middle of his promo. And then next up, we just got a promo from Braun Breaker. And Braun Breaker tried to do the best that he could, but it just felt like you can tell that this was impromptu, that he had nothing prepared, that he was just talking. And it just gave you that feeling that they were stalling out for some reason. Then all of a sudden, they cut the camera to LA Knight backstage. LA Knight's fighting off the people trying to help him. Like, I'm okay, I don't need your help. Then you see Bronson Reed and Logan Paul then go backstage to jump LA Knight, right? They just start washing him once again. And by the way, the things that Braun Breaker, if you listen to it, it was some things like, what is, like he called CM Punk a crackhead, and he said him missing the 2011, 2012 CM Punk. I understand that. I think he said CM Punk beat The Rock or something like that, which we know that didn't happen because The Rock beat CM Punk after Punk's long reign with the WWE Championship. But that's neither here nor there. But you had this weird jump cut to backstage where Bronson Reed and Logan Paul was beating LA Knight, right? And then once they slammed him through the table, you would think that after slamming him through the table backstage, or at least beating him inside of the ring, we would get that leaf-feeding Paul Levesque letters at the bottom of the screen. But it didn't happen. I thought at that moment they were going to fade to black and then go to the next episode of Monday Night Raw, given, or show us what's going to happen next based upon, what we saw on the screen. That was going to be a cliffhanger to move on to the next episode. But they kept beating him up. And I'm like, am I watching like backstage footage I'm not supposed to have access to? Am I witnessing a possible murder? Do I need to go to court? I don't like going to court, right? It was weird. And they kept beating him, and then they put him on top of a car. He caught a tsunami on top of the car. Like, the whole situation after Logan Paul won, it felt so impromptu. It really felt like they were waiting for someone to show up who didn't show up. Like, because the way that Braun Breaker was laying into CM Punk, something was supposed to happen there that didn't happen. It felt like they gave the mic to Paul Heyman and gave it to Braun Breaker and was like, hey, please kill the time. Whoever this person that's supposed to be here isn't here. My guess is that it was supposed to be CM Punk, even though he wasn't booked to be there. I think this was supposed to be a shocking surprise for the fans there in Kansas City. And he probably didn't show up, or someone didn't show up. And I just hope that whoever the person was that was supposed to show up, I hope their reasoning isn't anything serious. But it was obvious that something was supposed to happen there. And I feel like when they kept beating LA Knight over and over and over, it was because they were trying to stall out, because either something was supposed to last the 6-8 minutes or whatever, or maybe CM Punk was supposed to save LA Knight. And since the person wasn't there, they had to fill up that time until the end of the episode of Monday Night Raw. And Logan and Braun Breaker couldn't think of anything else but to continually beat LA Knight. Because again, we haven't seen anyone get destroyed like that in a long time, since like Ricochet before he left to AEW, and LA Knight's on a long contract, so he's not going anywhere soon. So it's going to be weird to see how LA Knight is, like, if he's fully healthy on the next episode of Monday Night Raw after taking that punishment. Fans, they're going to look at this moment, and then anytime a person is going to get written off the show, they're going to compare this beating and LA Knight being able to withstand that and come back healthy versus whatever angle they will take to get someone written off of TV, because people have gotten written off of TV for less things. Like I said, LA Knight got put through a car, put through a table, tsunami 3 to 4 times, got speared by Braun Breaker. The man was still walking around. It was strange, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. What are your theories? What do you think happened on last night's episode of Monday Night Raw? Do you think something was supposed to happen and it didn't happen? Or is this a deliberate plan by WWE to bury LA Knight to the bottom of the bottom? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. Salute, peace, have a great day.